Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri. Wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafiya wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutakabbala. Ameen. Ya Rabbul Alameen. So here we are with our session number 113, Alhamdulillah, Bismillahi Ta'ala, and we are going to start a quick review of all the families that we have covered so far, inshallah, and then we will, inshallah, learn about Al-Masdarul Mu'awwal that we started in our last session. So Bismillah Rahman Rahim, here you can see a table, type 1 if you all can see a table in front of you. Alhamdulillah. So what are we seeing here? So in Bab Taf'ilan, which is family number 2 or form 2, what was something that we were seeing? Is it as-salasi al-mazid bi harf or as-salasi al-mazid bi harfain, or is it as-salasi al-mazid bi salasatil ahraf? What do you think? 1, 2 or 3? It's a harf. Only one thing is one letter more, right? It taf'ilan allama. It is only mazid by one letter, right? It is only mazid by one letter, my dear sisters. Okay, keep that in mind. It is only mazid by one letter. Okay, so when you see allama, when you see jahada, when you see aslama, how many more letters are we seeing in these three families? 1, 2, 3. Because so far we have learned your as-salasi al-mazid can be mazid by 1, it can be al-mazid by 2, or it can be al-mazid by 3. So these three, which are also very unique, that they begin with a dhamma on alamatul mudare, they are al-mazid bi harf, only one letter more. So when it comes to allama, there is doubling of second letter, which is the ain is doubled up. So that's how you are getting 4 letters in your Failun Madin. When it comes to family number 3, Mufa'ala, what is the additional letter that you see, my dear sisters? Alif. There is an alif. And where do you see? What is the location of an alif, my dear sisters? The location of alif is right after your Faul Kalima, right? It's right after your Faul Kalima. So there's one more letter, right? When it comes to if'alan, bab number 4, babi if'al, how many letters more? One letter more. And where is this letter? There is one letter. And what is the letter? Before Faul Kalima, what do we see? It is Hamzatul Qata, right? Hamzatul Qata before the Faul Kalima is my Mazid letter, right? So keep that in mind, okay? So Hamzatul Qata. Then I have, put it down for you so that you all know what was Mazid, where do I have to look for, and what is special, right? So Allama yu'allimu, lam mushaddad, right? Lam with kasra, ya with kasra are the unique features, right? And are important features, not unique, but important features, because they are present in other families and they repeat themselves. But you have to look for all these in all these three families. That you will see that there is a second root letter with a kasra. There will be a alamatul mudare with dhamma. And in case of babe taf'il, you are seeing doubling of ainul kalima. In case of bab mufa'ala, you are seeing alif after the first root letter. In case of bab if'al, you are seeing hamzatul qata before the first root letter, right? And again, dhamma on the fail mudare, alamatul mudare, and there is a kasra on the ainul kalima. Everyone with me so far? Everything is written down here for you as well. So extra letter, which is mazid, is ainul kalima. There is an alif after the faul kalima. There is hamzatul qata before faul kalima in your family number 4, and all the features have been broken down into, whatever you are going to see is also written in the last column as well. When it comes to family number 5 and 6, which are your Fataha families. These are your Fataha families. What did we learn? We learned in your Fataha families, these two families, what was Mazid? Okay, now these families, let's start with the start. Are they Mazid by harf or by biharfain? What do you think? Is it are they Mazid biharf or biharfain? Harfain, which means two. They are Mazid by two. They are Mazid by two letters. There are two more letters. One was ta before Faul Kalima in case of family number 5, and then there was Ain Mushaddad in case of family number 5, right? We all understood it, right? Ta before Faul Kalima, and after Faul Kalima, Ain, the second root letter is Mushaddad. When it comes to Felun Mudare, we see all fathas. The last letter does not matter because it's going to have the haraka of the status, right? Qaf is, in case of tafarraqa, yatafarraku, it's going to be with dhamma, which indicates the status of the fail, and the default status of every fail mudare is marfu, mansoob, or majzoom. Barakallahu feek, yes, marfu, right? Then comes your masdar, which is tafarrukan. You are going to see a shadda in masdar as well. And you are not seeing any hamza here, right? Do we see any hamza here? No. We see hamzatul qata among the dhamma families. In case of aslama, hamzatul qata we see. In case of fataha families, you are not seeing any hamza. But is it absolute that you are never going to see any hamza in case of your 5 and 6? Or there is a condition when you are going to see hamza? Yes, you are going to see hamza. Will that hamza be hamzatul qata? Will that hamza, when you see it with ibdal, as you have correctly labeled it, that you do see hamza in these families as well, but this is going to be hamzatul wasal in case of felun madin, in case of masdar, in case of felul amr, when there is an ibdal, in case of family number 5 and family number 6. In these two families, you will see hamzatul wasal, with the exception in these families. Everyone with me on the same page? Alhamdulillah. And I'm going to, either add that exception in the same table for your convenience, and so that, it makes things more easier for you. Otherwise, I'm going to put it down right at the end of the table. Okay. When it comes to babe infial, inqalaba, okay, inqilaban, family number 7, we see how many mazid letters. Is there only one letter that is it mazid by 1, or is it mazid by 2? It is al-mazid biharfain. Again, it's al-thalasi al-mazid biharfain, because there are 2 additional letters that we see in case of felun madin inqalaba. There is a hamza and there's a noon. What is another special feature of this family? No passive. Very well done. And again, you are seeing, and this is a very important something that you need to know, my dear sisters, in case of inqalaba, in case of infial family, again you are going to start seeing the kasra on the ainul kalima. Okay, or you can just put it like this: not only kasra on, for your broader understanding, understand this. You will see kasra in Felun Mudare in all rest of the families except for 5 and 6. Somewhere kasra will be found in rest of the families that you have covered so far. Does it make sense or no sense? Either the kasra is going to be, in case of 2, 3, 4, kasra is on Ainul Kalima. In case of 7, 8, the kasra is on Ainul Kalima again, right? The kasra starts coming back on Ainul Kalima, and you see inqalaba yanqalibu, inqilaban, fahuwa munqalibun, right? So in Mudare, you do see a kasra, and we are talking about Mudare. When we say Fataha families, the Fataha families were called Fataha families based on the Fathas in their fail Mudare or fail Amar or fail Nahi or fail Madin. It was basically Failun Mudare that was Fatahified, that was with lots of Fathas, from where the name Fataha was derived for these families. That is why these families are called Fataha families, my dear sisters. Keep that in mind. Now, when you are going to see, when you are going to compare them with the rest of the families, you will see that rest of the families will have kasra, that you will see. Sometimes it will be seen and sometimes it's going to not, you will not be able to see it, and the reason for it could be, idgham. Okay, so now in fi'al family, mazid bi harfain, no passive, hamzatul wasl, hamza that this family has, because if you see here on the top of the table, the type of hamza. So when this thing was supposed to show you the type of hamza, the second last column is for hamza. So is it hamzatul wasl versus hamzatul qata? Only one family has hamzatul qata, and which family is that, my dear sisters? Family number 4, right? So I hope everyone is with me so far. Then when it comes to ifti'alan, family if babe ifti'al, family number 8, you see what is it mazid by? What is mazid in this family? Is it mazid bi harf or bi harfain? It's by 2, so it is al mazid bi harfain, right? There are 2 haruf that are extra. One is hamzatul wasl and the other one is letter ta. Everyone got it? Alhamdulillah, or no? Here, what is the location of ta here? Do you see ta before the faul kalima, just like in 5 or 6, or the location of ta is different? It is after the faul kalima, my dear sisters. Barakallahu fi, keep that in mind. And remember, you will see a kasra in case of filul mudare. When it comes to babe if ilalan, you are going to see how many more letters? Is it al-mazid bi harf or harfain? Again, 2. One is hamzatul wasl, and the second is, what is the second additional letter that you see? Yes, it is bi harfain. It is al-mazid bi harfain. There is a doubling of lamul kalima. Lamul kalima now got doubled up. We are not yet there. There is another family that is coming after if ilalan, which is going to have an additional alif as well. But in case of if ilal, ihmarra, yahmaru, you are going to see that it is al mazid bi harfain, and mazid letter is, one is hamza and the other one is doubling of the lamul kalima. Instead of 1 lamul kalima, you're seeing 2 lamul kalimas. And when you open up ihmara yahmaru, when you come to yahmarirna, what are you seeing? When I say yahmarirna, when you go back and look at your table, what do you see there? There is a kasra when the ra opens up. In case of hunna and antunna, you will see a kasra on an open ra, on the first ra, which is the lamul kalima. In case of hunna and antunna, you are seeing a lamul kalima with the first lamul kalima with kasra when there is a fakku idgham, right? Kasra on the lamul kalima in case of fakku idgham, which means the breakage of the idgham. Now the idgham is not there, it has opened up. Okay, in case of fakku idgham, you are going to see the first letter, the first lamul kalima with kasra. Is this clear? And go back and look at your table and it's going to be very clearly seen there. Okay, when it comes to babe istif'al that we did few sessions ago, is it as-salasi al-mazid bi harfain or bi harf or bi salasatin ahraf? It is mazid by 3 letters, right? It is al-mazid by 3 letters. And what are those 3 letters? One is hamzatul wasl, the second one is sin, and the third one is ta. Everyone got it? I hope. Now you see again there's a kasra on ainul kalima. There's a kasra on ainul kalima. So again mudare is seen with the kasra. When it comes to babe if'ilalan, idhamma, yadhammu, idhimaman, again you are going to see how many mazid letters? 1, 2, 3. Look carefully. So there is first idhamma. Focus on your focus on your Failun Madin and see how many letters are we seeing. Hamzatul Wasl, right? Hamzatul Wasl. First is the Hamzatul Wasl. The second one is Alif, and the third one is the doubling of the Lamul Kalima. Make sense or no sense? Are we all understanding that concept, my dear sisters? Alhamdulillah. Okay. So that was what I wanted you all to know about your Mazid Fihi families. Since there are some more families here, you can see there is a bab that we are not going to cover, and I told you about that in our last session. But for your information, I just have put them there. I'm going to just give you the information about them in this table. We are not going to cover it in class because I have not seen an example of this. If at some point I do, I'm going to, we can always come back and do it. Everyone with me so far? Alhamdulillah. So we got it. So this table is for your consumption, and please make sure you make the maximal use of it. And let me show you again something that we started our last week, and which was, what were we learning last week? Was it last week? No, this week we were learning al-masdar al-mu'awwal, right? So we were learning how an with a fail after it, is going to act like an ism. Is this clear to each and every one of you? That an with a fail after it is going to act like an ism, and we have seen some examples of that. So when I say again, an tasumu khairul lakum, an tasumu is taking the place of what, my dear sisters? And you see translation. So it is taking the place of mubtada. So the status of this combination is what? Mubtada is always what in status? Is always raf in status, right? Is always raf in status. So keeping that in mind, my dear sisters, attempt your answers, okay? Because your mubtada is always raf in status, therefore it is fi muhalli raf in. That is why if there is something that is not raf in status, I'd never call it mubtada. I call it ismu something, or if there is any change in i'rab, I have taught you how to put your i'rab and how to correctly put your i'rab, right? Okay. Now when we see qala, what do you think about qala? I want you to come back to some nahu as well, so that we are well versed with our, we don't forget all the concepts that we have spent some time on. So qala is going to be your fail. Who is the doer? Can you see the doer? If you can see the doer, and if you don't see the doer, either way, let me know. Aliful isnain. Aliful isnain is the doer, right? There is an alif after lam, right? So we can see a doer in the belly of this lam, right? Alif is sitting right in the belly of the lam. So qala. It is not qala. It is qala. So it is baris. We can see it, and it is aliful isnain. They too said, right? Aliful isnain means two people said. Rabbana. Rabbana. What is Rabbana? It's an idafa. It is an idafa. So it is starting something called from whatever you say, and the statement after qala, yakulu, kulu, kul is makulul qawl. Makulul qawl, inverted comma statement. These are your inverted comma statements, right? We have done it at some point as well. And the status of the statement after qala yakulu is going to be, what is going to be the status of the statement? It is going to be nasbin status. Why it's going to be nasbin status? What is it answering for you? It is maf'ul. It is your maf'ul. It is answering what question? That is why it is going to be your maf'ulun bihi fi mahalli nasbin, because now you have a whole statement or something that is coming after qala. In Quran, we don't see any punctuation. So you have to put your inverted commas right at the right spot based on your Arabic grammar. And your Arabic grammar tells you that after qala yakulu and their sisters or brothers, you are going to see a statement that can be put in inverted commas. So they too said, what did they say? Rabbana innana nakhafu an yafruta alayna aw an yatgha. They too said, oh our Rabb. So Rabbana, are they doing, what are they doing here? So they are making a dua or they are calling their Rabb, right? So Rabbana is actually one being called, right? They are calling Rabbana. So the one being called, what is the name for one being called? What do we call the one being called? It is munada, right? Munada. So there is a ya there that is omitted and it is allowed to be omitted, right? We briefly went over it during Ramadan. So if somebody wants to go back and see what is missing here and why that is missing there, so ya can be omitted. It is allowed for ya to be mahzoof, okay? Barakallahu feek. So ya Rabbana, it was basically ya Rabbana, oh our Rabb. So innana, what is innana starting? When you see inna, wa ismu inna, what is starting now? Inna wa ismuha starts jumla. There's a starting of a jumla, which is jumla ismiya. You just call it ismu inna, my dear sisters. Just call it ismu inna. Don't call it mubtada, because the status of mubtada is always going to be rough, and that's going to save you big time, my dear sisters. When you are going to look at complex sentences and complex grammar, those I'm telling you, small things are going to make huge impact. You will say that, this was such a small, easy concept. You will say, this is a basic grammar concept. And it made such a big difference in my understanding and comprehension. It does, honestly. Okay. Rabbana innana. After you have found ismu inna, what is the next step, my dear sisters? What was the next step we learned? That after determining ismu inna, look for khabru inna. Do we find one, my dear sisters? Jumla failure is khabru inna. Barakallahu feek. So nakhafu, kha, waw, fa are the root letters. Are we seeing the pronoun here? We can. Are we seeing? Pronoun has to be after the last root letter. Pronoun has to be after the last root letter. Fa is the last root letter. I don't see one. Have I completely lost it? Or it is not, it is what I'm thinking. It is mustatir, right? It is damir mustatir. Nahnu. Noon is alamatul mudari. Noon is alamatul mudari, right? Noon is alamatul mudari. So now see, indeed we fear an yafruta, that he will transgress alayna, against us. Okay, an. What is the type of an here? What is this an? An masdariya, an nasiba, an harf istiqbal, right? That we fear. Now let me justify all that I said. I am saying that this is an masdariya. I am saying this is an nasiba. I am saying that this is harf istiqbal. When you do an istiqbal of something that is still to come, right? You welcome future, right? You don't welcome past. So istiqbal refers to future, remember? So remember, keep that in mind. It's very important to understand these terms as well, okay? So istiqbal means pushes the meaning into future, okay? So indeed we fear that he will transgress against us, or he will cross bounds against us, and he will transgress, okay? And he will transgress both yafruta, to give more or less, to be more or less in some sense, okay? So to cross the limits in some sense, okay? So now look at this word an yafruta. If you have to connect it to your jumla failure nakhafu, how are you going to connect? an yafruta. What are we too fearful of? Is it answering your what questions, yes or no, Alina? Yes? Can I say the status of this guy, this an yafruta, and this an yafruta alayna, this whole al-masdar al-mu'awwal is fi mahalli nasbin. If it makes sense, type 1. If it does not make sense, tell me. Type 0. I want you guys to understand and to let me know either way. Okay? If you understand the concept, type 1. If you don't understand the concept, type 0. Okay? Now, yafruta, fail, mudare. Who is the file? We are going there. Let's just do things one by one, right? One by one. Easy. Yafruta has a huwa, that is a hidden pronoun. Damir mustatir huwa. Status is nasb bil fatatu zahira. Bil fatatu zahira. Alayna is going to be jar wal majroor. Can I call it mutalik bil fail? Mutalik bil fail yafruta, right? And everything is connected. Everything will remain connected. Then comes word aw. In the very beginning, when I was teaching you fragments, I have taught you an at fragment, right? So aw or aw can also be an. It has different meanings. It can 3-4 meanings. So for now, it's going to be yani or, keep it as or and say it's in a at. An yatwa. Now comes your an, which is again harf nasiba, harf masdariya. What else? What else? Harf istiqbal, right? All three. It serves all three functions. It serves all three functions. So what is the status of an yatwa? Nasb fi mahalli nasbin, right? Because it is mafulun bihi for nakhafu. Like you can say it is not. You don't say it mafulun bihi. You just say that this is matuf. Yes, just call it matuf. Just call it matuf, and it will make complete sense. Okay, and that's the right way to do it. Just call it matuf. What is the status of yadgha and how? Status of yadgha. It is nasb status. Can you see a visible fatha here? You are not seeing visible fatha. Can you say this is mansoob bil fatatul muqaddara? Very well done, my dear sisters. Yes. Now your alif, the baby alif that is standing on the ya chair, has an implied fatha, assumed fatha. Keep that in mind, okay? And you are going to call this al-masdarul mu'awwal ma'tuf ala first one. Is this clear to all of you, my dear sisters? Alhamdulillah. So far, everyone is getting it. Okay. Now look at this verse from Surah Ali Imran, verse number 41. Okay, just real quick. The status from Rabbana till an yatgha is going to be what? They too said it's going to be fi mahalli nasbin because it is a long sentence and it is a maqulul qawl fi mahalli nasbin. Fi mahalli nasbin. Everyone got it? Type 1 if you understood, type 0 if you did not. Alhamdulillah, my dear sisters. Okay, now let's go and look at this verse 41 now. Qala, he said. Now tell me, who is the doer in qala? This qala, is it different from this qala? How you read it, right? You read the first one with alif mad. This one has no mad. You are just going to read it one count and it has damir mustatir huwa here. Okay? Rabbi. My Rab. I'm going to call it my Rab. Okay? So this is going to be your munada, right? What was the status of Rabb? If I asked you the status of Rabb, give me the status of Rabb in Rabbi. It is Nasbin status. Good job. It is Nasbin status. One being called is Nasbin status, right? Because he's not doing any action, he's being called, right? So Rabbi, there is a Ya here. It was originally Rabbi, and Ya got omitted. And it's easy, when you call someone, like if somebody calls someone with a short name, what does it indicate? What can be the possibility? Why someone is called with a small, yeah, out of love, affection. Yeah, when people call me, like my sister, she calls me Saim, so it is out of affection, out of love. You give other Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to call Aisha Aish, so out of love you do that. And who should we love the most? Our Rabb, right? Who makes everything possible for us, and this class possible for us, right? So my Rabb, Ij'al. What are we seeing here? Ij'al. It's a dua, talb, right? It's a dua, felu dua, talb. This is the dua. This is fele dua or felul amr. Now, respect, out of respect, we are going to call it felu talb or felu dua, right? Li jar wal majroor. Make for me ayah. What is ayatan? It's going to be maful bihi for ij'al, right? Make for me ayah. Ayatan mafulun bihi for fail ij'al. Okay, so your this sentence, Rabbi ij'al li ayah, what's the status of the whole entire sentence? Because this is what somebody said. Were you good in punctuation? Who was good in punctuation when they were learning English? If they were, they will really love doing it. How they're going to put a comma and then they will put, the inverted commas from Rabbi to ayah. Make sense or no sense? And this is going to be Makulul Qawl fi mahalli nasbin. Right? He said, what did he say? Oh my Rabb, make for me a sign. Qala. Qala. He said. Now Rabb said. Ayatuka. Qala. Again, Failun Madin. Fa'il Damir Mustadir Huwa. Now focus on this. This one. Okay. When you see this, your sentence is starting with what? Yes, ayatuka is an idafa, so it is jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya. Jumla ismiya. In jumla ismiya, can someone remind me what did we use to say that? What were the parts of jumla ismiya? Mubtada and khabar, and possibly mutalik bil khabar. Sometimes they may be mbk, sometimes they may be khabar, sometimes they may be, either one. Mubtada and khabar for the most part, right? So ayatuka, is it mubtada khabar? What? It's proper because of ka. It is mu'arraf bil idafa. It is mubtada, right? It is raf and status. Your sign. Allah tukalliman nasa. Allah. What is this Allah? Is it one word or there are two words there? There are two words there. Good job. An was the first word. La was the second word. Everyone got it or no? There is an an and there is la. Okay? Not here. Cut. And here I'm going to write it, okay? So that it is this one. And this is when you open this up, you will find an plus la. And yes, it is written as a Mosul word. You can write, you can see it like this, an plus la, an la, and you can see it written as Mosul word. Okay, even the writing of Quran was preserved. That's what our Tajweed teachers taught us, that how the writing is also preserved. Sometimes you see and the words written together, and those words that are written together are going to be called mawsul. And if they are separated, like an plus la, it's going to be, there's no plus sign in Quran, but if you see it an la, then it is maqtu, like cut off. They are not connected. So now, tukallima. Tukallima. What is this word tukallima, my dear sisters? Is it an ism? Is it a? It is mudare. Mudare, what is the status of this mudare? Nasban status. Who is the doer in this mudare? Every fail has a file. Don't forget, even if it is a failul amr, it will have a file. Every fail has a file. You, right? Anta. Can you see anta here, my dear sisters? Is it hidden or visible? It is hidden. Barakallahu feek, my dear sisters. Ta is only the sign of mudare, okay? It is mudare mansoob bil fatatu zahira, right? Wal fa'il damir mustatir anta, okay? And it is mudare mansoob bi harf an, right? And la is la nafiya. It has no action. It did not bring any change to whatever was after it. Okay, now an plus la tukallima. An nasa. What is the status and why is the status this? It is nasbin status because it is maf'ulun bihi, right? Maf'ulun bihi. So now, did you notice what was the sign? Your sign is that you will not speak to the people for 3 days except by hand gestures. Except by hand gestures. So what is after mubtada? What do we look for? What is after mubtada? Can you call this an plus la tukallim an-nasa thalathata ayyamin illa ramza your khabru mubtada ayatu? Yes or no? Your sign is that you will not speak to the people for 3 days. If it was that you will be, your sign is this, this versus just by your sign is khamoshi or your sign is silence. Will you know who will be silent? Will it emphasize the doer? Will you get all the details by just finding a word by an ism? Your sign, just think of it. Your sign is silence. Does it give you more detail or this whole sentence with al-masdarul mu'awwal an? This one gives you a lot more details, right? Who will be quiet? Who will not be able to speak who will not speak to the people? For how many days he will not speak to the people? And how can he communicate with the people? Didn't it tell you all? Right? So with masdarul mu'awwal, you are getting a lot more detail. Lot more detail, right? So detail oriented. Al-masdarul mu'awwal not only tell you who will not be able to speak, it tells you to whom he will not be able to speak, for how many days he will not be able to speak, and is there any way that he can use other than speaking? Yes, he can do hand gestures. Tell me if you are all with me or it's too dry for you or too hard for you. You got it? You got the point? You're going to call it al-masdarul mu'awwal your khabar fi mahalli raf'in, because your khabar is a raf in your standard jumla ismiya, right? So I hope this is something that we are all now understanding. Okay, the next one. Qalu. Let me just, make it more doable for all of us. Okay, let's see here. Okay, qalu. Now tell me. Tertiary labeling Yeah, you do just first you say an hafnas and la nafiya, then you say, you find your mudare mansub and you find the file and everything, and then you say, okay, this is my, you will find out that, after my mubtada I have to have a khabar, and this is my khabar, right? Yeah. Your khabar is al masdar al muawwal. Yes, sister Azura, I hope this was clear, right? Yeah. Okay, the next verse, and I think this is from Surah Taha. Surah Taha. Qalu. What are we seeing here? What is my sentence starting with? Real quick, let's just do it. Wow is a pronoun, Prelun Madin. So now, in Hazani la sahirani. In Hazani la sahirani. And I know many of you may have forgotten this in, but we'll try. Hazani. So or maybe I think we Hazani two. Okay, okay. This the two, and then what about La Sahirani? No, it's not Jazima. Do you see Mudare after it? Do you see Mudare after it? Okay, now when you see alarm following in, remember the three types of in that I have covered with you? There were three kinds of in that I have taught you. And there were three types of lam that we have went over. One was lamul ibtida, lamul muzahlaka, and then I taught you about lamul farika. And that you see in case of inna, you see lamul muzahlaka, right? In the same verse, you will see lamul muzahlaka. You will see lamul farika, basically with when you have a lamul farika, you have an in that is mukhaffafa. Remember once upon a time we did that? And let me just give me 1 second. Okay. Yes. So now, if you don't remember, that's okay. Let's just look at Hazani. What are we going to call this Hazani? And in the meantime, I will try to remind you. Okay? Hazani what can we call? It is Ishara, okay? It's going to be Mubtada. These two, La Sahirani. How many? What is Sahirani? What is Sahirani? Yes, there are two in number, but if there is Hadani, Sahirani, how can we label it? Hmm? How can we label it? Hazani. What's the status of Hazani? Forget about everything else and think about Hazani. Hazani is rough in status. You are seeing Hazani, a harf is preceding it. Hazani is going to be something that have some status. Haruf are la mahalla lahu min al-i'rab, my dear sisters, right? So you focus on the status of Hazani and determine, is it a jumla ismiya or jumla fi'liya? What kind of a sentence it is, my dear sisters? If it is rough, it is jumla ismiya and it's a first ism, so it is going to be your, in jumla ismiya, what do you see? Azani is going to be your mubtada, right? It's going to be mubtada. Sahirani, these two are two magicians. What is going to be Sahirani? It's easy. Sahirani is going to be the khabar. After mubtada, we look for khabar or mutalik bil khabar, and our khabar is Sahirani. Now look at the word after it. Two magicians. These are two magicians. Word is common. followed by a fail. Sahirani yuridani. Sahirani yuridani. Two magicians. Very well done. Very well done, Aisha and Sister Shamim. Aisha, for sure, I know this is your first time, and Barakallahu feek. You just nailed it. You just nailed it. Sister Azra has done it before with me. Sister, I don't know about anybody else, but Aisha, I know and I don't know Aisha, I don't know you very well, but that I know that you have been learning with me so far. But this is great job. You just you are on it. You are on the job. So yes, commonism. The same pronoun is seen in yuridan, right? You are seeing, when I taught you complex sifa, I told you you will see the pronoun. The pronoun is going to be there that will be referring to the commonism. Sahirani. What will be the pronoun used for Sahirani? Two magicians. Is it going to be huwa, huma, hum, or what? Huma, right? Huma. So yuridani. What is the pronoun in yuridani? What pronoun is the pronoun in yuridani visible or mustatir? Aliful isnain is the pronoun, and the pronoun is visible here. These two magicians who want, can I translate it like that? Indeed, these are two physicians, not physicians, these are two magicians who want. What do they want? أن يخرجاكم من أرضكم بسحرهما. So let's do it. An is going to be, what is the status of an? An is لا محل له من الإعراب, right? لا محل له من الإعراب, no إعراب for it. It is nasiba, it is masdariya, it is harf istiqbal. Because see, the action did not happen. They want that they expel you all. So this is something that they are intending with an. Did you notice how the action is still to be done? They are not doing it right now. Does it make sense or no sense? Why it is called harf istiqbal? That they will expel you, or because right now they are not doing it. They want to expel you. This action they want to do in future. This is not happening right at the moment, right? Yukhrija, ayn yukhrija. What is the status of yukhrija, my dear sisters? And explain why. Nasb, there is a nasb status. Yukhrija is mansoob bi an, bi hasfin noon, right? Bi hasfin noon. Noon is omitted, right? Because it is from afalul khamsa. And kom is going to be, what is the status of kom? That is an attached pronoun. It's a pronoun attached to a fail. It's going to be nasbin status because it's going to be maf'ulun bihi. Min ardikum is going to be min ardi, jar wal majroor, and it can be labeled as mutaliq bil fail for now. Yes, kom is going to be mudafun ilayhi for ardi. Bisihrihima. Bisihrihima. So what is bisihrihima? Again, jar wal majroor, an idafa. Sihrihima is an idafa, and there is going to be, you can call it mutaliq bil fail, right? So far, is it making any sense or no? It is. So what is going to be the status of this al-masdar al-mu'awwal? Here. It's going to be, what do they want? They want to expel you all from your land. How? With their magic. Are we all on the same page? Type 1 if you all understood this. And same way you will say waw harf atf, yadhhaba mansoob bil atf, right? Because of atf, it's also mansoob bi hasbin noon, bi tariqatukum kumul misla. Tariqatukumul musla is the mawsoof sifa, and bi tariqatukum is jar wal majroor in idafa. Al musla is going to be the sifa, if I'm not mistaken. And the whole thing is again connected to whatever is before. I hope this was clear to all of you. Let's see another example. Oh, actually, it's already 1 o'clock. I will end the session here, and inshallah, we'll continue next week on Wednesday. Do you have any questions? Yeah, I am. Okay. Okay, let's just continue for 5 more minutes. Okay, let's continue for 5 more minutes and remind me. Okay, yeah, and remind me, please. Yeah, because sometimes I take more time, so that's also not good, right? So qalu, what is this? Qalu, again, fil madin, failuhu, wabil jama'a, uzina, uzina. What do you think is this word? It's majhul. Good job. It is madin majhul. And who is the naibul file? Now there is no file. There is a naibul file. Who is a naibul file? Is it huwa or nahnu? Nahnu, right? Uzina, nahnu is the naibul file. And min qabli is going to be jar wal majroor, mutalik bil fi'l, an ta'tina. What is going to be the status of an ta'tina? An is masdariya, harf istiqbal, harf nasb, right? Ta'tiyana. Sorry, I'm. Let me just see it properly. So, what's the status of this field? Status of the field. It is nasb bil fatatu zahira, right? Ta'tiyana, right? Ya has a fatha, so mansub bil fatatu zahira. Na is mafulun bihi, and so the status of the whole combination, this one, this is, what is the status of this? It is majroor. Some are saying it is nasb. Why? Why should it be nasb in status? No. The mudare is mansoob because of an, but the combination, al-masdar al-muawwal, my dear sisters. Al-masdar al-muawwal. What's the status of al-masdar al-muawwal? It is majroor because it is mudafun ilayhi. Good job, Azra. Good job, Sister Shamim, and good job, Aisha. Right? Qabli, if it had not have its mudafun ilayhi, do you know it's going to do what? It's going to be very upset. It's going to be with dhamma. Okay, since it had its mudafun ilayhi, it becomes mabni. Yes, but since it has its mudafun ilayhi, therefore it has a kasra min qabli. So now look for its mudafun ilayhi, and that mudafun ilayhi is antiyana. Right? Everyone got it or no? Is this clear, my dear sisters? Now let's do another one. Ma mana'a. Ma mana'a. Mana'an nasa. Mana'a. What is mana'a? It's madin. And nasa is going to be. And nasa, can it be outside doer? Can it be outside door, my dear sisters? Look carefully at the harakat, at the tashkil. It cannot be because it is carrying a fatha. It's going to be maf'ul, right? Because it is a nasb in status, so it's going to be only detail. An yu'minu. An yu'minu. And not it prevented the people that they believe from believing. So it is again al-masdarul mu'awwal. So what is it answering here? Mana an nasa. What? It is answering what? So what is the status of this al-masdarul mu'awwal? It is going to be second maf'ul. Good job. It's also nasb status. It's a second maf'ul. This is an masdariya. Harf nasiba. Yu'minu is mudare mansoob bi an. Alamatu nasbihi is hasfin noon. Li'annahu min al-af'alil khamsa. Right? What is the status of ja'ahum? Ja'ahum. And we did this concept recently. Is ja'ahum. Can somebody tell me and want to be the superhero for this class today? A super, no, like, hero can be used for women too, right? Very well done. Very well done. It is jar in status. How, Sister Shami? What was Zar, Sister Zohra? It is mudafun ilayhi for what? Is one of your special mudaf. Very well done. You got it. And barakallahu feek, Sister Shamim. Beautiful job, Sister Zohra, Sister Aisha. But I will have to give it to Sister Shamim because she was the first one to answer. And with that, I will now end the class. Aisha, ijazat hai? Are we good? जी ओके सुब्हानक अल्लाहुम्मा व बिहम्दिक नशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता नस्तगफिरुका व नतूबु इलैक अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू love you all for the sake of Allah keep in dua and stay connected to Quran okay whichever way it works for you stay connected always